A big super massive hello to you all out there. Welcome to Universal Studios in Japan, where I will be checking out the Cool Japan 2018 special event that they've got going on, featuring some special attractions, some unique stuff, and also I'll be just going around the park, check it out and show it off to all of you back home. I hope everybody at home enjoys the video, and if you stick it out until the end, there'll be some special details about a competition I'll be running, so pay attention to that. Let's go! Onward to adventure! I will tell you firsthand right now, this replica Harry Potter uniform stuff is ridiculously expensive. We're way off the beaten track here, boy. Here there be monsters. I don't play a great deal of this, but is Rathalos like best monster confirmed or something? To fear him is to revere him. I actually think if you look at this a certain way, the light on the eye is actually, like so. Go around and yeah, it kind of goes away. So look at it from a certain angle. I'm watching you. Here I am outside Monster Hunter The Real. It's an alright attraction, I guess. It's basically like a glorified walkthrough attraction with some elements of motion capture stuff in it. So go inside and you pick up like a sensor block that tracks like your arm motions, and you use that to essentially pick the weapon that you use to fight the monsters with. Depending on what pose you strike, when you're in like the motion zone, it will then render it on screen for you. Then the weapon I chose was the heavy bowgun, which meant having my arm extended out like this all the time. So by the end of it, my arm was kind of dead. It was nice to see. It's a good use of motion capture, and it's got some pretty visuals. You can actually go out and get a QR code, and then you can actually download some photos that are taken whilst you're in the experience. And of course, hunting the biggest of monsters calls for the biggest of monster lunches. Have a look at that. The ultimate hunter experience, a well-done steak for $20. Have a look at that. Situated right next to the Monster Hunter attraction is this attraction called Detective Conan the Escape. A big team escape room type attraction featuring Detective Conan. It's like a unique story. You go through it, solve mysteries and puzzles, and try and get through it all. Unfortunately, this one is a upcharge attraction, so you need to pay extra money. I think it's about like $30 or so for a ticket to get in. Fairly expensive, but I'm sure it's going to be a great experience, especially if you have the Japanese language understanding. Now, in order to put on some of the attractions for Cool Japan, they do have to replace some of the existing attractions to put the new stuff on top of them. For example, here, what we would normally have for Shrek's Adventure 4D in the 4D cinema is actually Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon The Miracle, a Sailor Moon 4D cinema show. Sailor Moon movie is pretty much what you would expect. Watch a film and help the Sailor Scouts defeat the evil badness coming in, and I don't really know much about Sailor Moon. Apart from this, watching me all the time, it's a little bit unsettling. Fighting evil by moonlight, wait in line all day night. And now we are heading to the place that I have been desperate to see ever since it was first announced. Here we are at the Final Fantasy XR ride. Oh, if this line is anything to go by, this is a hugely popular attraction around here. But I was a huge fan of it last year when they had this same XR thing, but it was a Neon Genesis Evangelion themed ride. So I have really high hopes for this ride here, really high hopes. It's actually around about graduation season for all the schools in Japan. So everybody who's graduating is having their like end of year trips or their celebration trips coming here. I love how the menus do the same thing as in like the actual Final Fantasy VII menus. It looks exactly alike. That's great.
He's so freaking cute.
Inside this attraction on normal operating days is a spinning roller coaster in the dark with lights, sounds and effects and all that kind of stuff. But when it is this XR ride, they fix the rotation of the car so they don't spin while it's going around the track, and they plug in a VR headset into your car, and as you're watching the film, it's actually going along with all the bumps and the loops and the turns and the bends on the roller coaster. there we have it. Yes, it was absolutely incredible. That's by far my favorite thing in this whole thing. Going around in this roller coaster, you're seeing all these sights of Midgard, you're seeing Cloud and Sephiroth. Fleeting moments just here and there. It's an exciting film to watch, it's an exciting roller coaster to ride, and together it makes a fantastic ride, and I would recommend it wholeheartedly to everybody. This should be something that you definitely do if you're here. I'm stopping there. Oh, good Lord in heaven, what is this? As it turns out, the Yellow Menace is extremely popular here in Japan, which is why they have all the memorabilia around. They have this dedicated section of the park that they replaced the old Back to the Future ride with here. And they also have the ride in the back for Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. This one's exactly the same as it was in the American parks as well. Rough day, buddy. I concur. Backdraft, the walkthrough attraction. I'm very surprised that this one still exists. This is a film from back in the 90s. Oh my god, what's this? It's a massive green roller coaster. This one's a personal highlight. The Flying Dinosaur roller coaster. Feel what it's like to glide on the wings of a pterodactyl soaring above the heavens. Oh, is that the waiting line? My god! Well, I guess if the lines are too busy, I can always get something to eat. And as the Japanese say, oishiso. I would say, looks, okay, I guess. They say nothing beats dinner with a view of people screaming for their lives on a roller coaster. And the unique thing about this particular restaurant is that sometimes they might even have a dinosaur outbreak. There'll be a dinosaur that wanders around the restaurant and starts like hissing at people. And the classic boat ride is here too, again with a very long wait time. That just goes to show how great this ride is. Okay, then we finished our lunch, and the Flying Dinosaur single line time has gone down by about 20 minutes. Good enough for me. Single rider, onegaishimasu. Single rider, hi. Arigatou gozaimasu. Alright, hair is sufficiently immersed, just got off the Flying Dinosaur. It's a really good ride, although the bane of single riders' queues is even numbers. Anytime 2 people, 4 people come up, you're never gonna get a ride. It's ridiculous. But whilst at the top of this very, very good roller coaster, I noticed a little bit of construction work going on. So why don't we see what that's all about? Out of Jurassic Park and over to where Waterworld isn't right now. It's closed, but that's also a weird thing. Waterworld, another fairly old film, but it still managed to keep its show over here. I mean, obviously now it's not around, and I assume the reason that is because behind these green walls is the construction of the brand new section of the park that should be coming later down the line, Super Nintendo World. And just about here you can see the crane, supposedly on the site where they are breaking ground and making the world of Super Nintendo World as we look and as we speak. It's exciting, I can't wait to see what's in there. Why is it that the people keep coming back to Amity Island? Do they not know that there are shark attacks here regularly? Here is the Jaws ride. Now I had a feeling it would be like this today. You will need a timed entry ticket today to get into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It's a shame that we can't go in today because I've heard that the big attraction in the Harry Potter world, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, the Japanese version has some new effects added to it, so it's a shame we can't do it now, but maybe we'll do it some other time. Or better yet, get down here yourself and do it. Let's have a see of this ride, the Hollywood Dream roller coaster. There's something I want to check out on this, because on the Hollywood Dream roller coaster, not only can you ride a special train where you go through the entire coaster backwards, but you can also choose a music song to listen to while you ride the ride. And I want to see if the song selection is a special song selection. I remember when I was back at Cool Japan in 2017, last year, there were some special songs that you could listen to that came from like Detective Conan and Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, because they had an Attack on Titan themed attraction here last year. So of the attractions this year in Cool Japan being Monster Hunter, Detective Conan, Final Fantasy and Sailor Moon, let's go see if there's some music available from those particular franchises that we can listen to. So you ride the backdrop if you want to do the ride backwards, but we're going to do it normally. Let's get in the singles queue. No, it doesn't look like they do, and that's kind of a little bit disappointing. I mean, we do have some songs here from Dreams Come True. They are actually responsible for some of the very first Sonic the Hedgehog music, would you believe? But we also have the regular stuff. We've got some Taylor Swift, Pharrell Williams, and some Michael Jackson. It's a shame they didn't have the music that ties in with the whole Cool Japan thing. Would have been nice to maybe listen to some Detective Conan go around, you know, going around like da 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 da. Or maybe even someone like Final Fantasy, listening to Final Fantasy VII's battle theme going around. Bun da dun da dun da 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 da. I would have loved to have done that, but they didn't have it. It's a disappointment, but it's not big. And of course, we do have to take a look at the merchandise that we've got around here. And luckily, they do always put in a special Cool Japan shop full of the limited Cool Japan merchandise on offer. Let's go check it out! And this is where you exit the Sailor Moon 4D attraction. This is where all the Sailor Moon cute kawaii stuff is. They never make phone cases for anything that's not an iPhone these days. Beware of the Negaverse. I mean, if I did have to pick a favourite Sailor Scout, Sailor Mercury has always been a favourite. Lots of stuff with the face of Detective Conan, including this bow-tie voice transmitter. I assume you speak in it and it like replays it for you. Do you really want to see it? Do you really want to see this? Do you really? Alright, we're into the late afternoon. I think I've got my fill of this place. No, wait, before I forget, this is a must-do. Touch Mike Myers' hands. There you go. It's almost a perfect fit, look at that. Very important that we did that. And here is my ending to this lovely trip around Universal Studios Japan. If you made it this far now, thank you very much for watching. And now, it's time for competition details. Yay! I have in my hand a very special receipt with a very special code in it. And you might want this code if you play the PlayStation 4 version of Monster Hunter World. This product code will allow you to download a very special piece of Monster Hunter gear. A very special sword, I think is what it was. And this sword is only available if you visit this Monster Hunter The Real attraction. When you get through it, you get given this code. And I'm giving away this code to you for free, to a lucky winner. There are a couple of things to note, however. You'll only be able to get this item if you have a Japanese PlayStation Store account. So if you don't have one of those, I recommend you get one of those. This is a one-time use code only. It cannot be used again once it's in. And it needs to be redeemed before a certain date. All the details will be down below. It needs to be redeemed before that date, otherwise it will be null and void. You can't use it and I won't be responsible for that. It'll be on you. So if you want to win it, there are two ways you can enter. One way is to follow me on Twitter and give me a tweet saying that you enter the competition with the hashtag down below. And number two is to subscribe to my YouTube channel and go to any one of my videos and leave a comment with the same hashtag. On the competition closing date, which I will set as April 15th, I will put all of the names into a draw, and the one lucky winner I will contact either by YouTube or by Twitter and let them know that they've won the competition and send them over the link. But by all means, enter the competition and that very special piece of Monster Hunter World gear could end up being yours. But for now, it's home time for me. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Good luck in the competition if you enter. And until next time, all I can say now is stay you and stay awesome. And I will see you all later on. Yeah, it's going a bit weird now. It's a bit windy today.